Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Today I'm going to speak about distinctive designs behind this famous dollar. There are certain motives and emblems behind the dollar that goes back to thousands of years. The reason I'm going to talk only about the design and what lies behind it is because the dollar plays a very important role in our lives. It plays an important role in our well-being. It's an international reserve currency. And in the wake of the financial crisis, when the dollar takes a battering, there is always a great tsunami downfall with it. Now we all know what the dollar consists of. It's made of cotton, linen, and some silk. That's why it stands durable. The dollar itself comes from the origin of the name from Fala, from Austria. Now, please, there is a dollar in front of you. Be kind just to have a look at the front of the dollar bill note, and you'll notice there is the United States Treasury seal. It's a round seal, and it consists of three motifs. The scales represents for a balanced budget, very important for us. Then in the middle there is the carpenter square. It's a tool used for an even cut. They claim that this is a Masonic motif. I'll come back later on. And then later on there is the key. The key stands for the United States Treasury. And we all know who holds that famous key, Timothy Geithner. Now, turn over the bill and you will notice two very distinctive circles. They represent the Great Seal of the United States. Very, very important circles. They were assigned by the Continental Congress to Benjamin Franklin to design it with a group of men, and these are the two motives. Now, Benjamin Franklin and the group of men, they were appointed in 1776 for this design, and it took them 4 years to come up with the seal, with a further 2 years and a further 2 committees to have it approved. Imagine 6 years to have the seals approved. Now, let's examine together what's on the left-hand circle. The left-hand circle, there is a pyramid here, and what's interesting, it's light-faced, and that is the country was just beginning. That's what it means. The western side of the pyramid, it's dark. California at that time did not practically exist. or rather, we didn't have on the map NPS Toastmasters. The pyramid is uncapped. It's uncapped to show we are not even to being done yet. There is still work to be done. The word novus ordo seclorum is a Latin word for a new order has begun. It was then designed in 1782. That was 6 years after the design of 1776. At the bottom of the pyramid, there is the numeral order 1776. Inside the capstone, right, the all-seeing eye, an ancient symbol for divinity. Very freaky. Very freaky, but that was an interesting design. In Latin, above the pyramid, you'll see in Latin too the word anut copitus, meaning God favors our undertaking. And at the time, Benjamin Franklin believed that one man could not succeed alone. It needs a group of people. Now, if you turn your bill, please, over, and you will see that there is in God we trust, a very sagacious way for certain people, and very distinctive. Now, please examine the two, and now I'll move to the eagle, the other seal. It appears in most national cemeteries and always visible whenever the President of the United States speaks. It's interesting. Now, please pay attention to the eagle as I'll tell. The eagle, the bald eagle, selected as a symbol for victory. That's what it is supposed to. It's not afraid of a storm, strong and smart enough to soar beyond and above the storm. Now notice, he wears no crown, because at the time we broke from the King of England. Interesting. In his beak, you read, see the beak of the, in his beak we read E pluribus unum, a Latin word for one nation from many people. There are 13 stars above the eagle, and they represent the original colonists. And what does he hold in his talons? He holds olive branch, which represents peace. Arrows, as you said, represent war. The eagle always wants to face the olive branch, but he will fight to preserve peace. But in time of war, his eyes can turn to the arrows. The shield, if you notice, there is a shield there too. The shield represents independence. Notice the shield is not supported as well. It's not supported. This country can now stand on its own. And if you notice, there is a white bar which represents the Congress, and equivalent to united, we are united as one. Now, it's interesting. They say that the number 13 is an unlucky number. This is almost a worldwide belief. You usually never see a room in a hotel, number 13, or in a hotel or hotels with the 13th floor. But think about this. 13, there are 13 original colonists, 13 signers of the Declaration of Independence. There are 13 stripes on our flag, 13 letters in Anacopetus, 13 letters in E pluribus unum. There are 13 stars above the eagle. Very interesting, 13 stars above the eagle. There are 13 bars on that shield. There are 13 leaves on the olive branch. There are 13 fruits, if you look closely, 13 little fruits there. There are 13 arrows. Very interesting, right? And of course, we all know we have the 13th Amendment. Now, the arrangement of the 13 stars in the right-hand side, you will see that the 13 stars are arranged as a Star of David granted by George Washington to Chaim Solomon, a rich Philadelphia Jew who contributed financially a great deal of money to the army. That's the army, what the army has won. And George Washington asked him, what would you like to have? And he said, I want nothing for myself, I want it for my people. So that's why the Star of David came in. Very interesting, right? And that is for Chaim Solomon. Ladies and gentlemen, Madame Tosman, let's hope number 13 is going to be a lucky number to restore us back to the wealth we had with the dollar and its might.